Thank you. I want to ask a question about reality. And that I've had a couple of experiences recently that made me think I was hallucinating.
Good.
I was buying some scratch tickets, and a couple of times I've gotten $100 winners, and I really enjoy that feeling. And this winter, I was scratching a ticket, and the numbers matched, and I don't scratch the prize amount because I don't want to see what I'm not getting. I only scratch it when I've matched a number and I can see what I'm getting. And it was $10,000. And I got this electrical feeling over me, and the feeling, and I said, oh my God! And I sort of didn't focus on the ticket, and then when I looked back, the numbers didn't match, and I said, oh, I hallucinated. I made a mistake. And a couple...
Well, if Esther can have the dream she had, she would like to call it hallucination. When you're inside the vortex, in other words, when you get tuned in, you do begin to see things as you want them to be. And if you see things as you want them to be vividly enough, then the universe must deliver them as you want them to be. In other words, we're not kidding you. That when you have that sort of vision, and people call it religiously speaking, when you have a vision, is a good thing. But psychologically speaking, when you have a hallucination, it's a bad thing. And we say, when you interpret the future through vision, and it sends that electricity. Now, that electricity that went through you, that was confirmation. That was source energy confirmation that you were in alignment. And so what if that's not the ticket on which the alignment took place?
But I'm wondering, could it be that the ticket actually changed because I didn't let it, reacted?
Well, we will say definitely to you that it was not that you had one and then you were incapable of accepting it, so the numbers changed right before you.
Okay.
That's not what happened.
Okay.
What happened was you saw it as you wanted it to be. You saw it as you practiced it to be. You saw it the way the source within you sees it. And when the source within you sees it, and you see what this is a really good example. We've been talking about this vortex that is attracting all cooperative components. So here you are wanting to win, hoping to win, and you're actually not desperate or anything close to it. You're playing a game. It's entertainment for you. Of course you would like to win, and of course those dollars are in your vibrational reality. And so here you were on this playful edge of hopefulness, and so the vortex just took you in. And for a moment you saw it the way you want it to be, the way it is on the inside of your vortex. But once you're in there believing, next time that happens, the numbers won't change back. You see, it's just an opportunity to realize. And the visceral feeling, that's the thing that we want you to take away from this. You had an experience where you felt the physical sensation of sort of being jerked into alignment with who you really are.
And it felt like an electrical shock. I remember as a child, I once touched an outlet. I got this electrical shock, and it felt like that.
When Esther first allowed us to flow through her, in those early days, she explained, it feels like I've got my toe in a light socket, because she was not up to speed with our energy. But they were summoning it, and she was close enough that she could access us, but she wasn't right on the frequency. And so there was a lot of convulsing. Her feet were kicking around. She was sitting down. She was holding onto the chair for dear life. They have videos which you will never see of this amazing experience, and it was like electrical shock, only because she was not up to speed with it. And even after that, for a while, it felt like swooning. When Abraham would come in, it was incredibly disorienting to Esther because of the mixture of the energy as she was getting up to speed with us, you see. And the longer she blends and the more she allows it, then the more steady this interpretation feels to her. But it's like that in the beginning. And that's not to say that you aren't in the vortex often on other subjects, but it is to say on that subject of dollars coming to you in that way, you're not really in alignment, because it's a game to you, it's chance, and you know too much about the odds. And so your knowledge is preventing you from being up to speed. If you could forget everything you know, if you were someone who just said, yeah, you go down and you just pay how much for the ticket?
$2, $5, whatever.
Just pay a little bit of money for the ticket, and they give you a ticket, and you just scratch this off, and then they give you a lot of money. How does this game work? Well, you just give them a little, you scratch some things, and then they give you a lot of money. If that were really, are you hearing us back there? Wanderer of the car. When you, focuser, pure focuser, the one who focuses so easily and finds that pure place. If you could innocently meaning you haven't introduced any resistance to the equation, when you just purely, meekly, ringing any bells, want something, it comes. But when you are so smart, do you know the odds of this?
I get stubborn and I want to make it happen. And it never.
Well, that making it happen is that trying to control the uncontrollable.
Push the river.
But it's all right to be determined about being in the vortex. In other words, and there's a little stubbornness in that too. In other words, just Esther said to Jerry, I'm in the vortex and I'm not coming out. I'm in the vortex and I'm not coming out. Don't make me come out. She said, don't make me come out. She's being playful about it. And when she comes out, no one's happy. Everyone wants Esther to stay in the vortex. Everyone who knows her wants her to stay in there.
I had another experience that's like this, and I've tried to get back to that, and I can't make myself get back to it. But
well, say it differently. We know that this is conversation for clarification, but say it differently. I'm looking forward to getting back to it is much less resistant than I can't get back to it. I can't get back to it. It's just nailing your feet to the floor. I can't get back to it. I want to, but I can't. I want to, but I can't get back to it. And words don't matter, but they are descriptive of how you feel. So if you say, I can't get back to it, then that's how you feel. Got to change that feeling. And isn't there a difference in the feeling, I can't get back to it, I can't do it, and I want to?
Yes.
Or I'm looking forward to it. Or it's going to be kind of fun when it happens. And I don't exactly know how it's going to come, when it's going to come, where it's going to come from, who's going to help it, but I like the idea of it coming. Feel how much less resistant that is.
And when I let go, these things happen.
When you let go, it comes.
Yeah, I had the sensation of laughing when I was going by a supermarket, and I thought of a scratch ticket. Scratch tickets in my life. I thought of a scratch ticket, a type of one, and I wasn't going to the supermarket, and I was thinking about it. It started me laughing when I thought about it. So I pulled in, want to follow. I'm trying to do the Abraham thing. Follow one in, and there's the tickets, and I buy 4 or 5 of them. They're losers, and the 6th one was $500. And I stopped, and I said, there it is. That's what I visualized.
So what's that tell you? So laughing was your indication of alignment.
Yes.
Laughing was your indication of being in the vortex. The idea that was occurring to you in the middle of all of that was an impulse that you were wise enough to follow. Now, you say, because I was laughing is the reason I followed the impulse. And we would say it's really hard to sort all of that out. In other words, you had an impulse. In other words, the laughing is alignment. In other words, when you're feeling like that, it's alignment. So now you take that away and you say, next time I have that jovial, uplifted, free, no risk, lighthearted feeling, it means I'm on the track of something. Anytime. See, when we talked, so you went in, now this is wonderful. This is a perfect opportunity to talk about the 2 ways you know about your guidance. One is when it manifests, and we said we call that post-manifestational awareness. The other is by the way it felt. In this situation, you've got both of them right there. In other words, you have the post-manifestational awareness of something that you wanted that happened, and you had the pre-manifestational awareness of something that was laughing and felt good. Yay.
Yes.
Isn't that a wonderful thing to know? So never again. Now you've got that. Hold that feeling. Hold that feeling. And now what were those words that you said earlier? Something about, I don't know how to get there? Bogus. You do know. You do know, don't you? You just have to focus. I know. I knew that, so I know everything. I knew that, so I know everything. That was the perfect example. We're just milking it for you. That was a perfect example, you say. That was a perfect example of me having something in my vortex. The source within me knew the path, knew exactly how to cause the rendezvous, because creation is rendezvous. I rendezvoused with that grocery store at that time for those purchases, knew exactly how many tickets I needed to purchase in that moment. It was the sixth one. You bought 6 and it was number 6. You knew exactly how many tickets you need to purchase in order to have it. If somebody else had beat you there first, you might have only needed to purchase 1. Or if you'd gotten there earlier, you might have had to purchase 20 or 30. You had the impulse. You knew exactly how many you needed to purchase because the vortex was calling you. And when you're in the vortex, you just know. You just know. No one was speaking it in your ear. You didn't look and the number 6 appeared on the palm of your hand in blood. In other words, it's not anything that dramatic. It's just, you just knew. You just followed the light, good feeling trail. It's always a light, good feeling trail that leads you to the love of your life, to the winning ticket, to whatever. It's always a light, good feeling. It's never turn left, not right. You'll die if you go right. It's never like that. In other words, it's always a light, good feeling.
I have another positive, light, good feeling about something, but again, it's about reality. And I've had dreams about it, and now daydreams of flying, like being able to levitate, to help and do things. And I'm thinking that's like so outside reality. They should, they'd lock me up if I told people.
But hear this. You see, that's a vibrational manifestation. It's a dream manifestation that is an indication of how you're feeling. In other words, that dream's not telling you that you're going to fly. That dream's telling you that you feel free.
Yes.
You see, and that when you feel free, you fly in your dreams, you see. And if you were flying around in your body, you wouldn't like it because first of all, you'd be a freak. And people would be looking at you. Some would be trying to shoot you down. Your life would not be what you want it to be, and
right.
All of that attention would ground you anyway. You see, you want to fly in your dreams. You really do.
Thank you very much. Thank you.